Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and this is going to be a trick or treat one. This has nothing to do with Halloween, but one of these, either A or B, is a trick and one is a treat. Which one is the trick? Which case would be a trick? If you took it, you'd be screwed. You would regret that you took this case. It will never work out. And which one is potentially, I'm going to say potentially because they're both kind of tricks, but one could potentially be a treat, A or B. I'm going to give you a moment, write down your answer, tell someone else who you're listening to in the room what it is, and then I will tell you my answer. And just for comparison's sakes, don't look at the fact that the shape of the teeth, the color, this is just two examples. What I want you to look at is let's just to compare apples to apples and not apples to oranges. The distance here to here and here to here, okay, is 1 centimeter, 10 millimeters, okay? I know it doesn't look like it, but it has nothing to do with this, okay? It has everything to do with this, okay? And just to make it more fun, we'll say more fun, on the Ceph, the incisors are in the same position. The patient has the same SNA, A and B, S and B. It's all the same, okay? It is the same patient, just slightly different teeth in the front. And that's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. A or B. Which one's a trick? Which one's the treat? Okay. The answer would be they're both tricks. You don't want either of these cases, to be really honest. But if you had to take one of them, and assuming you have run this, remember, anterior open bites don't just happen. Something made them happen. 95% of dentists, primary care dentists I work with, feed me some crap line about, oh, the patient said they stopped sucking their thumb when they were little. Okay, the patient said. So do we run diagnostics and full year-long multi-thousand-dollar treatment plans off what the patient said? Are you crazy? Will that stand up in court if this heads off? I'm just letting you know. Will this stand up to the dental board? No, they will not. Patient says doesn't work. So you better get a little more objective, not subjective answers. Patient said doesn't work. You don't ever take an open bite case based on patient said. So you better know myo backwards and forwards if you're going to consider taking that case, and you better in-house screen that patient just to make sure the habit's gone. Or you better send that patient off to a myologist, oral myofunctional therapist, who is a physical therapist for mouths. And if you don't know anything about OMT, how to become one, it's not that hard. If you're listening to this, you probably can become one in a weekend. It's not that hard, and it's a great revenue generator for anyone in dentistry. And it doesn't just have to be dentists. Go into my playlist. I have an entire playlist all about one. Am I an OMT? Absolutely not. I do not have the right personality or patience for that. I understand it, and I would say I understand as much as one does. I can look at a patient and tell you if they have a myo issue backwards and forwards. It's not a problem. I can't always do it with you guys as patients because I'm not touching that patient. Sometimes I have a pretty good idea, but you're gonna have to learn to do it yourself, and it's not something I can teach. You would have to go take a class on it, like I've taken many classes. I just chose not to get the certification because I don't want people to think I am one. Because I'm not, and I don't want to be one. Anyways, nothing wrong with it. I just have the wrong personality 100% for that. I would hate it. Any case, but it's fascinating. I like the topic and everything about it. I just don't want to do it. Okay. I do like ortho though. But anyways, the difference mostly is that this is a spacing case, and I know there's a little spacing here, so it's not the best example. For the most part, I would call this a crowding case. Remember, whenever you close spaces, teeth retract, right? And open bites close down. The opposite is true if you have crowding. Whenever you fix crowding, teeth flare out and deep bites become more open bites. So if you have a spacing case, it's going to turn out better because as we retract these teeth where they're supposed to be, the open bite will naturally close down. Now, what caused it in the first place? If that issue is still happening, it will just pop back open. It doesn't matter if you do bonded retainers, Essex, Hawley, whatever. It's going to still pop. I 100% guarantee you this will pop back open, and I 100% guarantee you this patient's going to be pissed off at you. It doesn't matter how many documents they signed, what they told you, and if they get the dental board or insurance involved, you will be giving a refund at best. You better hope it's just a refund. And I would say of all the cases I've seen like this, and I've been working with some doctors for 8 to 10 years, as well as, my own patients that I've, had relapse cases on, right? Even ones with bonded retainers, they always relapse. It might be slow, but they always will. Now there's a few really understanding patients who literally will sign whatever you give them, and they probably won't cause trouble. That's up to you. That's really up to you. And if you want to take that risk with that patient or not, you know that patient. I can't tell you what to do. Talk to your practice manager, talk to your liability insurance, whatever. But I would be really cautious to take any case with an AOB without an oral myofunctional therapist signature that they are okay to start ortho. They have completed the entire process, which takes between 6 and 18 months. It's not a 2-month thing. Myofunctional therapy is a very slow process. It's like watching grass grow. I've personally done it. It does work, but it is incredibly tedious, and it does work if you do everything they say. But sometimes it also involves a minor surgery, some visits to the periodontist. It might involve some visits to the cervical chiropractor. It's not always just working with the OMT, and it's rarely covered by insurance. It might be more likely not. Mine was not at all, no portion of it. I think I spent between the surgery, the exercises, the OMT, the perio, and the cervical chiro, I don't know, you'll have to go back to my old videos where I went out maybe 10 to 15,000 over a year and a half. I mean, it was fairly expensive, but it was totally worth it for me. I breathe better, I feel better, my speech is better in the videos. If you go back to my videos from 8 years ago, you will hear a complete difference in the speech. And sometimes I get a cold or something and I'm tired and it's not great, but completely different. I think my face is better. I think everything is better. My health is better. I don't know how much is connected to what I did here, but I guarantee you a lot of it is connected to it. So, because everything started getting better once I got this done. So anyways, I'm a big fan. All right. So thanks so much. The moral of the story is don't take AOB cases. All right. Thanks.